Today, I want to talk about a major change in the executive condominium market in Singapore. And this is important, especially if you are planning to buy an EC, upgrade from HDB, or you're trying to decide between an EC and a private condo. Because the EC strategy that many buyers used in the past may no longer work the same way moving forward. The government has just announced several key changes to the EC scheme. For affected new EC projects, the minimum occupation period will be increased from 5 years to 10 years. Full privatization will move from 10 years to 15 years. The deferred payment scheme will no longer be available. And the quota reserved for first time buyers will be increased from 70% to 90%, with the priority period extended to 2 years. These measures apply to ECGLS sites with tender closing dates on or after 8th of May 2026. So, what does this really mean? On the surface, many people will say, wow, EC not really attractive anymore. But I think we really need to look into it deeper. This change does not mean EC is no longer good. It means the way we evaluate EC must change. Previously, many buyers look at EC as a stepping stone. They buy an EC, wait for the 5-year MOP, then consider selling, upgrading, or move into another property. That strategy worked very well for some buyers because ECs are usually priced lower than comparable private condos due to the eligibility restrictions. But after a certain period, they move closer to private property status. But with the new 10-year MOP and 15-year full privatization timeline, future EC buyers must now think much longer term. You are no longer just asking, can I stay here for 5 years? You must ask, can my family comfortably stay here for the next 10 years or more? That is a very different decision. Now, let's talk about who benefits. First time buyers are likely to benefit from this change. Why? Because 90% of the units will now be reserved for first time buyers for the first 2 years. Previously, only 70% was reserved for the first time buyers during the first month from launch. After that, remaining units could be open to other eligible buyers. Under the new rule, first time buyers get much stronger priority. This is important because second time buyers, especially HDB upgraders, may sometimes have a stronger budget due to sale proceeds from their existing flats. So, this move gives younger couples and first time families a better chance to secure an EC. From a housing policy point of view, the government is trying to bring back ECs back to their original purpose to serve Singaporean families who are caught in between HDB and private condos. They may earn too much for some HDB options, but a full private condo may still be a stretch. So, for genuine first time buyers who are buying for own stay, this can be seen as a positive move. But for HDB upgraders, the situation becomes more complicated. The removal of the deferred payment scheme is a big change. Under the deferred payment scheme, buyers could pay part of the purchase price upfront and defer the rest until the project obtained TOP. With the new rule, all buyers of affected ECs will need to use the normal payment scheme, where payments are made progressively based on the construction milestones. This means buyers must plan their cash flow more carefully. For HDB upgraders who are still servicing an existing home loan, this can create an overlap. You may be paying for your current HDB while also starting progressive payments for the EC. So the question is no longer just whether you qualify or not. The question is whether your cash flow can hold comfortably during the construction period. This is where proper financial planning becomes very important. Now, let's talk about the investment or exit strategy angle. This is where the biggest mindset shift happens. If a buyer was planning to buy EC, hold until 5-year MOP, sell, and upgrade, That strategy will be affected for future ECs under the new rule. With a 10-year MOP, the buyer's capital, family plans, housing flexibility are locked in for a longer period, and full privatization only happens after 15 years compared to 10 years previously. That means the timeline before the EC can be sold to all buyers, including foreigners and corporate entities, becomes longer. This does not mean there's no upside, but it does mean buyers need to think more carefully right now. For example, is the unit size suitable for your family for the next 10 years? Will you need more bedrooms if your family grows? Will the location still suit your children's school, your work, your parents, and your daily lifestyle? Are you buying because the project fits your needs or only because you hope to exit quickly after MOP? These are very different considerations. My view is this: the EC market is moving from short term upgrade play to long term own stay planning. That means EC is still very attractive, but only for the right buyer profile. If you're a first time buyer looking for a long term family home and you want a condo facilities for more accessible price compared to private condos, EC can still be a very meaningful option. But if you are a HDB upgrader who needs flexibility or you are planning to buy mainly for a short term exit strategy, then you need to reassess carefully. You may want to compare three options. One, new EC under the old rule if it's still available and applicable. Number two, resale EC that has already fulfilled MOP. And three, private resale condo or new launch private condo, depending on your budget and objective. There is no one size fits all answer. The best option depends on your timeline, cash flow, family needs, and long term property plan. So, my advice is this: don't just ask, is EC still worth buying? Ask these three questions instead. Number one, can I comfortably hold this property for 10 years or more? Number two, can I manage the progressive payments without deferred payment scheme? And number three, does this property still support my future upgrade or retirement plan? Because after this policy change, the right EC buyer is not just someone who can afford the down payment. The right EC buyer is someone whose family plan, cash flow, and holding timeline are aligned. So, if you are considering an EC, take your time to plan properly. Look beyond the show flat, look beyond the launch excitement. Look at the numbers, the timeline, and your real life needs. Because in property, the right decision is not always the most exciting one. It is the one you can hold comfortably, exit wisely, and live confidently. If you are planning to buy an EC or upgrade from HDB, speak to someone who can help you work through the numbers, the timeline, the exit strategy before you commit.